watching the Stable Keeps Gas Sprays Finals from Mansfield, Ohio. Ted Jones, Bruce Kaufman, Mike Sight with you. Rick Carlton's in the pits. We're ready to get things going with the Be Prepared category. Once again, the Le Mans start. Watch them run for the mowers. And notice how quickly these mowers fire up and take off. Now, these guys are really going to spurt out of here.
Well, Ted, these are all overhead valve, two-cylinder, four-stroke engines, 20 horsepower and under, 42-inch minimum, unaltered wheelbase, top speeds, 45 to 50 miles an hour.
Boy, you can tell that, too. An early lead right there for Chuck Miller, the 104 octane machine. Notice how he's bouncing, coming right off the ground. They have worked on this surface, but every little bump, they have no suspension to mount anything on these mowers, so they feel every crevice and bump on the course.
Let's pedal to the metal, Ted. Remember, this is the Stable Finals. All the points are riding on this race. Points champions within 50 points of each other. It's going to be pedal to the metal.
On board right now, you're taking a look at Shane Shelnut, number 11, who is trailing behind George Herron. We have the onboard camera on the back of his mower looking back, and you can appreciate, oh, look at that, up on two wheels right there as they're getting serious trying to track down Chuck Miller.
Well, Chuck Miller, a six-time factory experimental class champion, really rocking and mowing in the Be Prepared class, and he's the one to beat out there, Ted. This is his home state, and you know he's rocking and mowing.
We've got a caution on the track. Let's check in once again with Rick. 91 miles an hour. You gotta be kidding me right here. Restarting on lap number 9, still in the lead, Chuck Miller, but Bobby Cleveland is right there behind him.
That restart's so important, Ted. They're looking for the green, looking for it, and you know they're just gonna be climbing up that green flag and getting a quick start.
Shane Shelnut, again, you can see right there, trailing right behind George Herron, trying to catch up. And again, you can appreciate just how rough that ride can be on that lawnmower with no suspension. These guys are getting some real speed up right there, as you see George Herron in the yellow mower coming around right there.
George Herron, one of the most crafty veterans on the Stable Series and president of the Middle Tennessee Lawnmower Racing Association. He's a man to beat, too, with Chuck Miller, Bobby Cleveland, Boyce, and the rest of the crew.
Boy, I'm telling you, Bobby Cleveland is just waiting on Chuck Miller to make one mistake on that 104 octane boost sponsored mower. He's right there behind him. One little slip and he'll go right around him.
Absolutely, Ted. These two very crafty. One little mistake, you know Cleveland's looking for that move on the boogie woogie man, Chuck Miller, out of Marion, Ohio.
Now we go on board once again with Bobby Cleveland. You can take a look at what he sees as he trails behind Chuck Miller. Oh, wow, just passing right there. They just zoomed right around Justin Spangler.
Well, that Chuck Miller, what a driver. Just a pleasure to watch. The racers are climbing up his back, and you know he's hearing footsteps, Ted.
Now watch the front tires right here on Chuck Miller's 104 octane boost mower. He actually comes off the ground. We take a look at the rest of the field right there. Now Miller beginning to lap some of the field.
There's 661 Tim Ragsdale out of Tennessee. Oh, the Dave Smith mower. Oh, Ragsdale.
Well, he's uninjured. Take a look at that. It just threw him off the mower. Of course, they'll have a red flag. They'll stop the race because the mower, as you can see, is turned upside down. And the beautiful part of these guys, they just turn the mower back up. We'll take a look one more time at exactly what happened. He got around 180 degrees, and then right in underneath him was Dave Smith, who turned the mower upside down. But you know what? He's not the least bit discouraged. Oh, look, that thing is really crashed, though. Yeah, he's done for the day, unfortunately. So they'll get everything cleaned up. The red flag is still out, but we'll get a restart here in just a moment. Meanwhile, Dave Smith not really hurt. Here's the way they're standing after 5 of 20 laps. Chuck Miller in the lead, followed closely by Bobby Cleveland. Finals from Mansfield, Ohio. We are restarting in lap 15, and Chuck Miller the leader. Bobby Cleveland still right there behind him.
Cleveland, Miller, Herron, Shelnut, McCullough, Bonneville, Lavalette, all mowers to watch, Ted. It's going to go down to the wire, that's for sure.
Wow, a little sliding there by Chuck Miller as he nearly lost it coming through that chicane, but he's still okay. This race is really close. Let's go on board right now with George Herron one more time. Oh, you can see how closely Shane Shelnut came up behind him as he tried to pass there.
That's Shelnut, a member of the BC Racing team out of Locust Grove, Georgia. That Ogura clutch machine just really looking solid out there. Shelnut, another man to watch, Ted.
Notice how much vibration there is. That's what these guys are feeling right there on these lawnmowers as they're hitting up to close to 50 miles per hour. Now we can see Chuck Miller still in the lead right there as he maintains that lead, pulling away a little bit from Bobby Cleveland.
Look at that Ford machine. Jason McCool on the inside trying to go around Shelnut. What a move.
George Herron, who has our onboard camera, also in the middle of that whole thing. They're really fighting over that third, fourth, and fifth position. Now, someone's going to be out of the race with the John Deere tractor right there, so the yellow flag will come out. He's evidently broken something. I can't believe that he ran out of gas. That's Thomas Bardis who's out of it. So, once again, Chuck Miller will set the pace with the 104 octane boost tractor.
Boy, Ted, it's going to go down to the wire. That was a heck of a passing move by Jason McCool on that Kawasaki machine around the number 11 machine of Shane Shelnut. It's going to come down to the wire with Miller, Cleveland, Herron, McCool, Lavalette, Bonneville, and Boyce still in the hunt.
You can see Chuck Miller setting the pace right there. We still have the yellow flag out. Now, right now, they're telling him to close it up, and he's telling one of the officials something and pointing back toward the back right there.
Well, that was his teammate Greg Honchel out of Urbana, Ohio, who was giving Chuck Miller the sign to tighten it up a little bit. Wants to make sure Chuck is well positioned on that restart. With just a few laps to go, it's going to be crucial to get a good start off that green flag.
They've just given them the signal. There'll be one more lap under yellow. You can see they're all lined up, and we're going to have a real drag race when that green flag drops.
You're going to hear the roar of that mighty V-twin engine. The Chuck Miller Boogie Woogie Machine 104-16 is Cleveland. Herron, McCullough, Lavalette, Bonneville, Boyce, and Donahue still in the hunt. This is for all the Golden Yummies, Ted, the points championship of the Staybill Series.
Around the final lap, the visor just came down. You can see that. He's going to be watching for the green flag. Now watch, Bobby Cleveland will try and anticipate it and put a move on him right now. Chuck Miller, full throttle. Away we go.
Rocking and mowing, Ted. This is no procrastination, baby. This is pedal to the metal. Miller, Cleveland going to battle it out.
And indeed they are. There's Chuck Miller, our leader. Bobby Cleveland still can't get on the inside. He tries to move to the inside, but wisely Miller cut him off.
Shelnut, that 11 machine, driving a heck of a good race. It's Miller's to lose right now, but Cleveland about 3 mowers.
Oh, and problems right there. It looks like Shane Shelnut is out of it. Let's take a look and see what happened. He's dazed, but now he's telling him, I'm okay. On the replay, you can see number 11, Shane Shelnut there. Oh, John Herring came into him, and he couldn't quite get it back. Fell off the mower, but fortunately unscathed.
Shane Shelnut, tossed by his lawnmower over the side. He is sitting up, got a hat on. It looks like a left ankle injury that he might have. One of the ways that you can tell how alert he is, they started to cut his boot off, and he said, no, they're new boots. Go ahead, unlace it. Well, that was a little excitement.
Yeah, it was. I pushed it a little bit too hard. Should have stayed a little bit more calm, but I was giving up a spot and got into the other guy, and I don't know what happened to his mower or him, but man, I just got kind of tangled up there.
Looked like a 10 as you were bailing over the hay.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty good. That was pretty good. I'm just glad I'm all right.
Well, looks like just a sprung ankle, so he'll be fine. Meanwhile, we're still under the yellow flag, but watch him, there comes the green, and away goes Chuck Miller.
Chuck Miller, a master of the restart, Ted. Just a crafty veteran on that Honda machine, being chased down by his fellow competitors. Just keep an eye on the Boogie Woogie, man.
Well, he's starting to open it up now, just a little bit over Bobby Cleveland, who was right there on his rear tires. Here comes the white flag out. If they're going to make a move on Miller, they've got to do it on this lap.
Now's the time. Watch Miller. He smells those checkered flags. He's been in the winter circuit before. Can he hold on?
Oh, he's beginning to open it up about 3 or 4 more lengths. Chuck Miller gets the checkered flag. He will be the winner of the Be Prepared category. Here's how they finish down through the top 10.